think it's a good segue into being open and honest.
Yeah.
So everyone would go, duh, of course, but you know, the amount of people we work with, co-founders, boards of directors, teams, there isn't so much openness and honesty. And even though they might say that there is, we can all get better at it, us included. And what we mean by that is that to be open and honest, you need to be quite vulnerable with each other. Quite often we see founders, you know, two co-founders, they've started this amazing company, they've got some good funding, but then their relationship starts to erode because there's no openness and honesty, there's no transparency, and that really erodes trust. We start to second guess ourselves and live in our own heads.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, as founders, as business owners, as partners, as directors of a company, if you do that, that's when you're going to run into trouble. Because it's not really a knowledge problem, it's a vulnerability problem. You know, it's really, okay, I'm not happy today, I didn't like what you said, so let's put it on the table. And it can be really uncomfortable. I still get uncomfortable if I'm not feeling right, or one of us has got annoyed, or I've put my foot in it and I know I've done wrong. Usually between directors in teams, between groups of leaders, between, you know, founders, there isn't always that honesty and trust, so they won't just say, hey, sorry, I've been a bit of a what will happen is that they will not say anything, ignore the elephant in the room, and then that drives a wedge between the two. It erodes the partnership. It can, you know, have an impact on the credibility between each other. And then if you start to, you know, question and not trust each other, then how can you run a company together? How can you be a partnership? How can you be a proper team? How can you then work together? So what we've learned the hard way over the years, and especially during COVID, for example, where, you know, it's quite early stages of our company, we had to get very quickly good at just saying whatever we feel, whatever we think, even though it might sound ridiculous, or, you know, I'm really annoyed at you, and I know if I tell you the truth, Mira's probably going to get angry, and then it's going to escalate into a heated discussion or an argument. But actually, quite often it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Because both of us, when we've been, you know, speaking to each other through that lens of being that open and being that honest, there might be a bit of uncomfortableness at first, but then quite often I'll be like, yeah, thanks for that. You've cleared the air. You know, I'm glad you took the initiative because I was a bit uncomfortable, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? How the reason why we don't communicate and we are not honest, again, is some of the previous experiences, some of the things that we learned in school, maybe from our parents, from society itself. You don't talk about these things, or if I say this person will react in this and that way. And so we are very uncomfortable of being open and honest and being vulnerable, but actually exactly that thing, when you are not blaming, not shaming, not criticizing, but you're really being honest, how you feel and why you feel the way you feel, it creates a connection. And, you know, people talk about, let's create a connection. There is so much stuff there about connection, but it's that simple.
Yeah.